Coming up, the Senior Oceania and Australian Open happened on the weekend, and we're here to review some of the big moments. Kaizen Culture had a huge presence, and the Senior Euros start today, and we are going to do our own little pick'ems. All that follows after our talented friend, Good Fortune. So, obviously, this is not John. John.
Stating the obvious there, isn't it?
Yeah. This is Jordan, all the way from Ireland.
Yep, back again.
Back again. You couldn't get enough of it.
First time on the cast.
Yeah, on the watch party for the first one, but now we've upgraded to the podcast. Thanks for coming in, and we appreciate you filling in for John's absence today.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly because you were at the tournament. John wasn't at the tournament. You saw a lot of, especially the Oceania, because you weren't a part of that tournament, so you were in the stands for the whole thing, hey?
It was a great weekend. It was fun to be part of.
Yeah, you told me after you were surprised at how high the quality was for both tournaments, but specifically the Oceania, hey?
Yeah, well, obviously coming from Europe was probably the best in the world for karate, but then I was thinking Oceania, one fight, New Zealand, Australia, how big could it be? But it was a lot bigger than I thought. And the fights, they were exciting.
Yeah.
Some of them were wars.
It was crazy, hey? I'm very excited to hear your take on it.
I think that crowd for Oceania was bigger than the Nationals team event, because that was pretty big as well. Yeah?
I think it was always going to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was much bigger than the Nationals team event.
I think Karate Australia did a good job in advertising that whole Thursday and come along and support the Australian team. So I think we definitely got a show out. I mean, the chants were fantastic, you know.
On a Thursday as well. It was sick.
Well, can't wait to get into them. But first of all, welcome back to the Kaizen Culture pod, where we are trying to keep the conversation moving within Australian karate. I'm Mitchell Durham, here with Nathan Blockley as always, and now Jordan Harrigan. I got your name right this time.
Yeah.
We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be on Spotify or Apple. We're also watchable on YouTube. If you could, please give the podcast a rating if you're enjoying the content. And as always, please let us know your thoughts and opinions and anything you'd like us to talk about by sending us an email at kaizenculture.info@gmail.com, or even sign up to our mailing list at kaizenculture.org. Finally got that one in.
I could tell you were like itchy. You were like, oi boys, we haven't started yet. Like, shut up.
I really thought I'm feeling rusty. It feels like it's been a long time since we've been on here.
I think it's just been a long couple of weeks, or a long month leading up to these championships. I mean, we mentioned it back a month ago and said how huge April was for Australian karate, and it's finally happened. We're into May, and we're going to be reliving this for a little bit, and it sets up the whole year. Like with world teams at the end of the year and the junior world championships as well, selection. God, we've got so much to chat about, really.
It's actually quite big the next couple of weeks to see what happens and how it all unfolds, hey?
Yeah, especially with the other continental, well, pretty much the Europeans. Asians is September or something, so.
And does it all come out this month? When do you find out who goes to the
I think
championships?
there was for the junior worlds team and the senior team, I think there was talks that in the next couple of weeks that they were going to announce it, because they had the fight-offs on the Sunday for the juniors, and I can't imagine, the teams would change too much in terms of the senior men's and women's. So announce it quickly,
Preparations up to start soon.
Exactly.
Put a plan in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very important to have selection as soon as you can, so all the teams and all the individuals know, right, the journey starts now. This is the next 5-6 months for me.
Well, should we start talking about the teams? That was the first thing that happened.
I couldn't have asked for more from those team events. Especially the women's was so exciting because it did come down to 3 matches.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the first didn't go our way. Laura put her all into it. But at the end of the day, it was her first time on the international stage for a team event.
It's a big moment.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure she's never been under that sort of pressure. And, she held her own and she got some points, but it did go New Zealand's way for the first match. And then we had to rely on the 2 other fighters to take it home. And in Iris, Iris was the third fight, and it was Georgie in this. Oh, Georgie did amazingly with that sort of pressure, knowing it was all on her to keep that going. I mean, imagine if it was 2-0 New Zealand. It would have been rough for Australia, you know.
And then,
pressure.
you know, obviously the guys got it done in 3. So then, you know, it could have been one of the genders goes and, you know, males go, females don't. That would have been so heartbreaking.
I would have. But we've got both Australian teams going to World Championships. How amazing is that? Like,
I mean, from a spectator's point of view, like, because you've got no ties to either country.
Well, he does to Australia now.
Yeah, you're pretty much Australian.
Irish.
Yeah.
Well, Yossi can. That's my ties.
Yeah, let's go.
Bit of spectator for the female was amazing. Like down to the third fight. That's what you want when you don't really have any loyalties to paper ones. The men, maybe secretly I wanted it to go to 5 just for
spectacle.
Yeah, just for the spectacle, just to excite me. But the men were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Against New Zealand.
I think New Zealand definitely had a plan going into it, and I think you could tell what the plan was. It was, the first fight we're gonna throw away. We're gonna count on Australia putting one of their best fighters forward, and Rory he's a bulldog. He's for that. He's built for that first position.
I think he was perfect for that first fight. Like he's like a hype train.
I think for both. I mean, Isaac Hoshi held his own in Kumite. He got two body washes or just one?
I think it was 2 maybe.
Yeah, I think
it's very hard to fight someone like that because he's not normally a Kumite fighter, so his distance is completely different. He throws erratic techniques, like I think he was throwing a couple of front leg like Maya Gary's and stuff like that. It's just you're not used to fighting someone crazy like that.
Yeah, so New Zealand definitely predicted to lose that first fight. And I feel like they were sort of prepared to lose the second fight as well, and they wanted to reverse sweep Australia 3-2. I think they saved Barney. Who was the other one?
Young boy, Sam.
The minus 84.
Oh, yeah. And Sam did actually, he did quite well on the weekend. Hey, I didn't see a lot of his fights, but I saw him getting through rounds. I think he did pretty well against Max or Yoni in the under 84, I think.
Can't remember. Maybe Willem?
Maybe it was. No, it was Willem. You're right.
He beat Willem, yeah.
He beat Willem?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
He's a big under 84.
Yeah,
he's a big
huge
guy.
Yeah. So say if you didn't clutch up in that third fight, Mitch,
you never know,
and Rakawa took it, then they had Barney Gill, who's a seasoned athlete. He's been on the international stage more than probably anyone in Oceania. And he came back for team, and he would have been hard to beat. And then you've got Sam, who...
Fourth spot.
Yeah, it would have been 4th, definitely. Yeah. It would have been interesting. But you got it done in 3. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to make a statement to the whole world that, like, not that you're too good for Oceania, but you're as good as the Europeans. You're going to be competitive on the world stage like you were last year.
Our mindset, we talked so much about order and like how we were going to plan it and what strategies we were going to do. Are we going to, you know, put someone at the back end just to try and secure that end? And I think we just ended up going, we got to make a statement, like you said. If we are trying to be competitive at the World Championships, we got to run through New Zealand and do it in 3. And this is exactly what we did. We put it out in the front and didn't leave it for any ambiguity for the end.
And I had a chat to the whole men's team afterward, like private interviews, and pretty much all of them said, look, you could have put any 3 of us out there and it would have been the same result. And we trust the other teammates that it would have been the same result. So
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Australia beats New Zealand 3-0.
Yeah.
Especially the 3 that New Zealand put out. I think it's 3-0.
I think they're in a tough spot.
The
they're in a very tough spot, New Zealand. You know, they've copped some injuries and a few people have stepped away from the sport and they're just going through that sort of lull period at the moment where...
They have a lot of good juniors.
Yeah.
A lot.
Oh, man.
They're going to come through.
That junior division, that junior open on Sunday, holy... how many was in that? It was like...
a Shark Tank.
It was over 32. No, seriously, it was like just below 40 competitors in the junior open. And New Zealand won it with... what's his name? I can't remember his name. A very talented fighter, though.
Right.
And then I think 2/3 as well, or maybe it was an all New Zealand final. No, it wasn't. No, it
I
wasn't.
can't remember who. I didn't watch the juniors.
It was that tall junior from Australia with the one with the bowl cut. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Amazing fighter.
When we were doing the interviews, the guy said he was his favourite fighter.
Oh, nah, I don't know. Sorry.
No, we'll have to
my bad.
derail that one.
Yeah, we have to move on.
Yeah, but sorry, I just want to say
yeah.
the depth of the Australian men's team. I think that's something that hasn't been seen in a decade.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that really is a testament to our culture at the moment and our bond as just mates, first of all. And you're seeing that now with the women's as well coming through. Like I've seen it at the start of the year with the camp and how they've bonded together, how they face adversity in that moment. It's really good to see that the culture is seeping through not just the hanging around and enjoying life. It's actually competitive now. So I honestly can't wait for Spain at the end of the
you're
year.
all professionals.
Yeah.
And we talked about Georgie. We highlighted how clutch she was in that second match. Iris down 4-0 in the last one.
The youngest team member, by the way.
That was just insane. And again, I chatted to the female team as well afterwards. And when I said, like, what were you thinking? She was like, honestly, it got to me a little bit. Being 4-0 down, she started to doubt herself a little bit, but then also just came back to saying, I know how to score. I know how to win. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to do what I've done for my whole life. And you could see it was just... She was meant to be there, and she was meant to be that third fighter.
I think that's when the crowd was at its best as well.
Yeah.
During that fight, the crowd was so good.
We were actually warming up in the back and we could hear the crowd getting crazy. And you can tell when the cheers for New Zealand and the cheers for Australia was. And all the boys at the back were like, oh no, doesn't sound good. And so we've all come out to the side and are on the sidelines watching. And then she scores, I think she scores the takedown.
Yeah.
And then it's just, I get goosebumps and like the crowd goes crazy and that sort of gives us a bit more energy to fight. And it's just like, I've never heard the crowd so loud in Whitlam Centre. It was amazing.
Yeah,
for Iris.
100%.
So that was super clutch from Iris. Teams, fantastic to get it done. There are a few individual moments that stood out for me and for us over the weekend.
Do we do Oceania first, individuals? The whole first, second seed?
Yeah, I mean that was a pretty big moment for the Oceanias. Yeah, that's true. There's I think not majority, but a good amount of the first seed, the people that were getting points, all lost to the person that was in the second seed spot.
Yeah, it was pretty close to half, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, so we had, just off the top of my head, Cindy beat Celia. We had Dylan beat Sean. Sean then beat him in Oz Open, so that's a matchup to watch out for in the coming future.
Ali beat Georgie.
Yeah, Ali Lorenz beat Georgie.
Ben beat Mitch.
Yep.
Ben beat Mitch.
That was also, can we
Wow.
just quickly sidebar that one? That was a huge moment for Ben. He performed out of his skin. I could feel it when I was fighting him. He was on one that day, and I think his mind was set out on getting that gold.
Like you said, when you can feel it, that you could also see it from the crowd as well. There was just something different.
Yeah, he fought brilliantly, cleaned me up.
And he fought so smart.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do anything he didn't have to do. Everything was done for a reason.
Yeah, he didn't like ride a adrenaline rush and just start rushing you. He was like, my counter's working. I'm just going to wait for this guy.
Yeah.
And the counters were on point, and they were on point against Rukawa as well in his weight division.
And I think the coolest thing he said was about you when he could have beat Rukawa, or he could have lost to Rukawa in points,
And he still would have won.
and he still would have won the division, but he went out 2-1 for Mitch to get second, which is cool.
Yeah, so the way that the round robin worked is that if he had have lost to Rukawa, he still would have won, but that would have mean Rukawa got the second place. And he told me afterwards, he said, I think Rukawa said, why are you still trying to beat me? And Ben's like, Mitch has got second. Mitch needs to get second. And
Yeah,
I
but
was like,
also just it's a fight.
yeah,
like
it's true.
You
That is
don't
true.
go out there and, I want to lose by less than I need to.
Yeah, that's that.
Like,
That's
you
the
go out there
mentality.
to win.
Yeah, I think his mentality is like, I'm coming for it all, you know. And just on the back of that, I don't think he'll mind me saying this because it was a pretty big moment. But you know, his dad passed away at the start of the year, and that was a big moment for him and Trish and his people close to him. And he got up on the podium with his dad in a frame, and there was a big moment that Jess Bromley painted a photo, an image for a portrait for him and his dad, and the whole team presented it to him at the end, and it was just a really, really special moment for him and for everyone. You were there. You almost cried.
I almost cried, and I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
I was just in the background, like emotional wreck. It was crazy.
I think that sums up how close the Australian team is to one another.
You can see the camaraderie.
Yeah, that's not something you just do for someone you train with or compete against.
Yep.
You know?
No, all of our hearts were out there for Ben, and congratulations, mate. That was a big, big win.
And that also means I don't want to be the person who selects who goes out and competes on the men's team, because now you've got, Max beat Yoni. That was another one that the second seed beat the first seed.
Beat Yoni?
Yeah, he did. I feel like it's with those two, it's like the referees play a decent part in it. It's like whoever gets the referees on their side first, because they're so evenly matched, but it can be blowouts. Like, I think it was quite a blowout with Yoni last year in the fight-offs.
Yep.
I think it was 2-0, wasn't it? I think the first one was close, and then the second one, Yoni just...
I think because Max had to come, right? He had to try and get the win, so I think he was exposing himself.
Yeah, and it's the same side with Yoni and Max this time. So, so you got Yoni, Ben, you, Rory, Daniel... Like, it's so hard to pick who's going to be the five, who's going to be the reserve.
It's a good problem to have.
It is.
Yeah.
I want to put Declan in that team.
You want to put Declan?
Yeah.
Declan is such a dominant fighter, but he's under 60, and you've got to think about that.
You don't care?
Nah, I think he has to go on the squad traveling.
If we draw Bosnia first round and we get that big Enes Gobrovanovic
on your bike.
Actually, that I wouldn't mind Declan running around.
He knows how to fight big people as well.
Yeah, that was huge also for him. He's now dropped a weight, and he got the win for the Oceania. He wasn't selected for the points for Oceania, which is fair enough because Trevor and Richie had that spot.
He wasn't in it.
He wasn't selected either
At
spot,
all.
and then he comes out in the Australian Open afterwards and takes that win, first national win, first national competition. So,
and you've been through that. Change in weight divisions, and you're not seeded at all. You have to come into a new event, and you get that win. And
it's nice.
Especially because Declan, I talked to him and he said the weight cut wasn't actually that bad. So it seems like he naturally feels good at under 60, and it's going to be the next 10 years of his life in that division. So that'll be interesting. Trevor, Richie, and Declan.
Far out. It's pretty
good problem
tight.
to have.
Yeah.
But Jordan in the finals of the team event last year in Budapest, who was the last fighter, under 60.
Wow.
And he got the job done against Abdulaziz.
But he lost that fight.
But he did what he needed to.
Yeah.
He was on his bike.
Yeah. I want to quickly, we want to talk more about the Oceania individuals? Anything crazy that stood out? We're gonna once all the points settle in and we can analyze that fully. We'll talk about how
Stephen Cameron.
Yeah. Stephen Cameron.
He is so. I watched him in juniors last year, and he looked so dominant in that junior division. And then first year in seniors, first fight in seniors.
No, he would have done VKLs.
Oh, okay. Okay, first international fight, national fight, and you're up against Rory Attridge. And you win, what was the score?
Like 11-8 or something like that.
That was such an exciting... His anticipation is just beautiful. Like, the punch is beautiful, but his timing in terms of knowing when Rory's coming in, he was just picking him off. And it was like the 11 points, I think pretty much 11 of them were bloody Yukos.
I think he scored one Ippon. He got one kick in the head, yeah.
Even better.
The rest were all Yukos, yeah.
Oh.
And it was like identical Yukos, just Gagazuki.
Rory still ended up winning the Oceania based on points, but Stephen's going to be scary in the future.
You know, another young one. The juniors are coming through like
in force.
Yeah, it's wild. It's Mia Heron from New South Wales. This is not Oceania now, but she's 17 years old.
Never seen her fight before. I hadn't.
I saw her through juniors. She's amazing. She's a weapon. She wins under 21s and then wins the senior female minus 50.
Yeah, and under 21s is not like it's the same seniors. It's Georgie and Ali.
No.
Oh, sorry, not
minus
Georgie.
50. This is Cindy and Celia.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. But like 17 years old as a senior.
That's
That's
young.
nuts. And I'll do you one better. Zara Tay, I hope I'm not getting that name wrong. Zara Tay from Victoria wins juniors and senior female cutter as a 16-year-old.
When has that been done in the past? Jordan? You wouldn't know.
16 years winning the juniors and the senior female cutter.
That is insane.
I'm not even, I was watching it happening and I was like, this girl looks like so small. And I was like, is this the children's division? And then all of a sudden she's up against like Tara, Stephanie. She's up against, I think, was Holly in that same division?
No, Holly didn't do Oz Open.
No.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have
Because
been.
Holly...
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention that. The Oceania Individuals. Holly Wigg wins female kata and her weight division kumite in a continental championships.
I've never seen that.
A double gold in a continent. Yeah, I don't...
Yeah. That's
I've
pretty
never
nuts.
seen anyone compete
In both.
in both.
And she's doing it and she's winning.
Far out. That's actually pretty nuts to think about. Because if you think about it, right?
Where do you find the time?
Yeah. Like, how do you train both?
Mm.
I've no idea.
That would be something that we could investigate because, like, I'm struggling just to train one. You know, how do you train two?
Well, you used to train too.
Yeah, but when you're a junior, it's not like, it's
different.
It's different when this is a senior. You know, you're working. You got to put time into both. That's rough. But yeah, well done, Holly. That's a standout there. Would have been interesting to see her up against Zara.
Yeah.
But Zara's cutter was amazing, and like I think she was cadet last year, so she's not even turning 17 this year.
That's crazy.
She's just turned 16.
So she'll be going to the World Championships. Well, you would think so.
Well,
For the Junior Worlds?
Or Junior Worlds.
Junior Worlds.
Junior.
Oh, I'd see now. I don't know.
No, it's got
Junior. She'll be under 18.
Yeah.
Oh,
she'll be,
yeah, not
yeah,
the 21s.
100%. Oh, and that will be very exciting, yeah. Because she'll be up against other juniors which aren't under 21s yet. So, I mean, the level's less. You've got to admit that.
Yeah. It's going to be very competitive. A good chance for her to get.
No pressure.
Yeah. We're not putting any pressure on. No way. There was a pretty amazing result from the women's senior female open. Jelena Kalajic, she's just moved down to minus 61 this year or end of last year, and she wins the female open. You know, so she missed out in the seniors Oceania against Iris. You know, it's fair enough. Iris is an amazing athlete. You know, goes into the Aussie Open, and she just tore through. I only saw the final fight, which was 8-1.
I've never seen Jelena fight like that. That was...
And it was amazing.
Insane. It's how I'd imagine she fought at the Series A, that she went deep. I think she got to the semis. No, quarters, but then lost and then didn't get that rep charge.
Unfortunately,
right? Yeah. But she was, I think she, like it was a Series A, so you would have had, I don't know the exact, it would have been 90 plus competitors most likely. And I think, she got through 3 rounds and lost in the quarters. Like,
puts her name forward for Spain, for the teams.
You think so?
I think that's a definite.
I mean, how do you argue against it? It's very hard to argue
winning
against
the
it.
Open. I don't think, and she is such a team fighter as well. Like her whole persona, her whole personality is very team. It's not self-centered at all. So I'd love to see. I think the Australian women's team needs to have her in it.
Wow. Yeah, no, she's awesome for the camaraderie aspect. She's definitely one of the leaders in the senior squad. Yeah, I mean it's tough to be a selector for the Australian coaches for this year. For the
Good
Worlds.
problem to have.
Good problem to have. So yeah,
Glad it's not our problem.
yeah, it's amazing to see. Well, okay,
What?
you got to take someone out.
So all
That's the
right. So who is it?
So the team is Hannah, Mandy, Georgie, Laura, Iris.
Don't make me do this, Mitch.
Hey,
But I mean, like, injuries happen, things happen.
Yeah, you got to have reserves,
Yeah.
and I don't think the female team has reserves.
well, that's the 5. That's 5.
Yeah, but don't
You
you have
select.
reserves for the team as well? Like the 5 go over, but
No,
Nah,
so with the men you select 8. With the women you select 5.
2 is enough.
And 2 is enough.
Like
for
if
the reserves.
if 3 got injured,
That's a bad.
and
What are you doing on that training camp? You know what I mean?
But I'm sure you can pull someone else in to fill that injured spot. to always have 5?
Yeah, so are you taking the team as it is and leaving Jelena, the senior female, open?
But how do you give her a chance? Do you do a fight off? Is that a thing in team events?
Do you wait until the nationals?
You can't wait that long to announce the team. I think they're announcing the team in the next couple of weeks. So I honestly think that they're going to take the results from this last weekend into consideration.
So do you think teams change?
Why can't they name 6?
You can't. That's just the rule. It's like, okay, name 10
No,
men.
I know 6 won't be going, but can you name like 6 now?
now,
So the team, because like
5 in
any
August.
training sessions, Jelena's going to be a part of that training session. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm glad
like
it's
your
not. I'm glad it's not my job. I would want Jelena in there.
Okay, sure. Interesting.
Then tell us who you're taking out.
Yeah.
Stop it, Jordan. Stop it.
You're the one that has to say it.
He's the devil's advocate.
You're
now,
the devil's
yeah.
advocate.
Yeah, you've got no ties. Quote Jordan, no ties.
Nah, we'll just leave it. We'll leave it. We got one more to talk about, which is about, can't take this person out of the team. Daniel Thielen, quad gold.
My God.
Oceania Team gold. Oceania Individual gold. Aussie Open weight gold. Aussie Open men's weight open gold.
You know what's funny? Wait. Oh, no, it was during the interview I said it, but Daniel is so hard on himself. He is so hard on himself. During the fighting, he was like, I don't even think I fought that well.
That's crazy.
He fought amazingly.
That's crazy.
Like his gack has never looked better.
Shoot on Gak, baby. It's back.
Chudan gack.
You give him a hard time saying he doesn't do it. And
He doesn't do it
and then he
enough.
hit you with it.
He got me with a really good one. And I hate it. He got me with it. He did so well.
Yeah, he's looking electric, and you cannot not have him in the team. He is the Open champion. He is the plus 84 champion. He is fast, and he's had international experience did he win Kazakhstan fight?
Yeah, he won his Kazakhstan fight.
And he won his Portugal fight. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't take him out.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think in a team you always want the big guy as well, don't you?
Yeah,
of course.
Yep.
He went through. This is his run for the men's open weight. So he went through me at the quarterfinals, Max at the semifinals, Yoni in the finals. That's a tough run.
Yeah, and he scored quite a few points in that as well.
He won by like a convincing margin.
Yeah,
like
they weren't like 0-0s or like 1-0s.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I mean, he's the guy. If you're facing the whole team lineup and you pick one fighter you don't want to fight, for me it's Daniel.
But he's so cute.
He was.
All right, we got one last thing that I want to. It's a little special mention. A couple of the veterans came up to me and had some really great chats. James Davis and Rodney Smith. Rodney, I just want to send some love to your wife who's a bit unwell at the moment. But James also, he came up to me, gave me a bit of stick, said that the veterans sometimes get forgotten, and I understand. But we just want to shout out to all the veterans that come out and bust their guts just as much as anyone else, probably if not more.
Sometimes it's really exciting to watch.
Yeah. So we commend your efforts, and you guys are doing amazing out there, especially Trent Eads, 4 times Australian Open champion. So
amazing.
So well done.
It's no less competitive in that division as well. Like you see them and they're going at each other.
They're coming for blood.
Yeah.
For blood.
Yeah.
They're definitely in pain the next day.
Yeah. Anything else you want to mention?
Is that's all of the list?
Yeah, that's what I had on the list there.
No, I think I did my couple. We definitely missed a couple of moments.
100%.
Yeah. There's no way that we didn't, but those are the ones that came first to mind. So
yeah. Cool. All right, we'll
drop your comments on what you think your favourite moment was. Who stood out? Who didn't stand out? Who would you drop from the team?
That's tough. That is tough. Maybe some positives. Who would you add? We'll just add heaps of people to the team.
Yeah,
Over with an army.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a short break and we'll come back. Okay, we are back from the break, and there was one thing that I forgot to mention. We had a lovely little gift here. If you didn't notice in the start, we've been given a book by Rebecca Bartlett. It's a Kaizen book, the Japanese method for transforming habits one small step at a time. And it's just a nice little gift. Beck wanted us to put it in the studio, so thank you so much, Beck. I'm not going to read it at all. I just don't like reading.
Just purely for
facts.
aesthetics.
Yeah, it's purely aesthetics.
You know who you are, Mitch.
I know
you're
who I
not
am.
a reader and you're not a tools guy.
Not a tools guy. That's it. We're going to try and deck out this studio, I reckon. And we're on the mission to putting all the Post-it notes up. And that's actually a perfectly good little segue into talking about the volunteers for the weekend. The love that we got from everyone on the weekend, the Post-it notes. Oh my goodness. We built that mural. And to be honest, I didn't believe in it.
I was skeptical.
I believed. I believed.
It's easy to say
wholeheartedly, I
that now,
believed.
Jordan.
I did.
Nah, I think he actually did.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's so cool. And looking at the photos and just seeing everyone's names down there, it was like really touching for us to see the support from everyone. And I just don't know how we could have done it without the volunteers.
Volunteers came in clutch. They were amazing. Like, I had a lot to do over the weekend between the stall, between the packages, between the social media and all that. And the volunteers really did drive that that mural. And we did fill it up by the last day. We had a little announcement by Hanny, a couple of it. Like, he went above and beyond with that announcement. He did more than I asked.
Yeah, shout out to the president
Yeah.
of Karate Australia.
Yeah, he really plugged us there, and a lot of people came over, and we finished off that board, and I walked over it, and I was like, holy, it's done. Like, after the first day, it looked pretty bad.
It was pretty slow. Thursday was a slow day.
It was very slow.
I think, what did you put on there, Mitch? You put the Kaizen Culture logo,
I put like 4 stickers on there. Put my name, put WA, I put Kaizen Culture logo. I even drew a 4-leaf clover because this guy.
I did put one.
No, after I said, because you did your little thing, you did Jordan, you did some little drawings. And I said, you didn't even put a 4-leaf clover.
I forgot about it. Irish people don't really
yeah, there's something about Ireland on
don't
there.
really, like,
I remember taking it
do
off.
anything but 4-leaf clovers.
You don't think of it?
It's not my Roman Empire.
Oh my gosh, the Roman. I think we're done. We're surely done with the Roman Empire. Do you think?
We don't need to get into that, but yes, I do, 100%.
Maybe I'm. Anyway, all right. So I wanted to shout out the volunteers that, some people helped out a lot, some people helped out as much as they could, and we were just so grateful for anyone's time, even just putting your hand up just to offer your time. So just going to list them off here. So
late notice as well. I've got to put that in. Like, we were doing a lot. It was late notice. My organisation wasn't as good as it could have been, but it also as good as I possibly could.
Yeah.
I did the best I could, and some things were missing, but these guys really drove this change. So go ahead.
So we had Mish, Ali, Julie, JC, Peter, Jess, Izzy, Zane, Kim, Jordan, Simone, Owen, and Sammy Bromley.
And you.
And myself, yeah, I jumped in and helped out a little bit, which was cool.
And you got Zane and Kim, didn't you?
Zane and Kim. Yep.
Yeah, they were amazing,
they were
as
clutch.
well as Ali. The last day, Ali Kafira just went nuts. She, I think I asked her. I was really polite. She was scheduled on for the second session of the day, and I was like, "Hey, would you mind doing the first session as well? Like, we're running a little bit low. Could you help out?" And she was like, "I'll do the whole day if you want. I'll just stay there." No, so she was amazing during that. Yeah, and
I
then
had so much fun on the stall.
Really?
Whenever me and you were over.
Yeah, it was good.
It was so fun. People just, the energy around the whole stall was just so cool.
It was cool to see everyone jumping on the microphone as well and actually saying a few words and getting interviewed.
Yeah, so for those who didn't participate, because there might be a few listeners who didn't actually see us at the Oz Open or couldn't make it this time, we had a stall, and we had a couple of, it was sort of a progression of, you come to the stall, you get a free Kaizen Culture pen, Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Kaizen Culture pen. I mean, I'm obsessed with pens. I really am. I love pens. You use them so much. And then we had stickers as well.
How come it's not on you?
On your forehead like Sean.
Yeah.
So we had those two, and then we asked participants to answer a question or two or three about karate and about their experiences in karate, just like, what's your favourite memory of karate? What's your favourite... you've listened to quite a few of them now, Mitch.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
What was your favourite question, Mitch?
My favourite question was the 4-point technique. That was...
What's your answer?
I actually didn't even have an answer. I think... did I give an answer?
I'm asking you now.
No, I think it just has to be a spinning kick that scores nicely, because that's so tough to score. It should be worth 4 points.
Yeah.
And jumping, maybe. I think a jumping spinning kick.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
2 feet off the ground and you score.
4 points.
Yeah, 4
Even
points.
with a punch?
Yeah, Superman punch.
No, most kazamis are now you score with
Yeah,
your
you
feet
do.
in the air anyway.
Yeah.
What's your 4-point technique?
I don't even know. Like, probably a jump and spin, yeah.
Yeah, jumping, spinning, kick.
I think it's the only correct answer.
what about the side kick that Raquel had landed on you, Mitch? Is that 4 points?
Yeah, that should be 4 points. Oh, that hurt so bad. It didn't hurt me physically. It hurt me emotionally. I'm like, I've got a confession here. All right, I'm winning 7-0, and I'm like, I got greedy. I was like, I wanted the 8, and so I rushed in. I've gone in, and Raquel has just shuffled back, jumped, spinning side kick right into my guts. Crowd goes crazy. My brain is just like, oh, that's
Did it hurt more physically or mentally?
emotionally.
Mostly.
It hurt. It broke my heart.
Yeah, it was like that could have been a really cool moment for me. Now it's like the worst.
It's so bad. So don't get too greedy with your points. Just get the job done.
Get the job done.
Bob the Builder.
And then I'd like to also really thank the photographers that helped me out on the packages. They did absolutely amazingly. Anhad Jungra and Khan Ewan, they were just MVPs of the whole tournament. There were only a few times that all 3 of us were on the floor before, but even just myself and one of them felt like we had everything covered so well. And we released the packages as if like they were the first 20 that we released, and that was assured packages, like we will get you. And then we extended that to as many people as we could. We did sell out of that stage as well. And it was, if we do miss you, we're sorry, we'll do a full refund. We're just trying to do as much as we possibly can. And we got everybody.
So good.
So, and it felt like we got everybody twice over as well. It really felt good. So they were MVPs of the tournament.
So good.
Yeah. So we've covered the merch, the stall, and the photographers. Kaizen Culture's presence there was phenomenal. And I think that was a pretty hard thing to top from last year's Nationals as well, with the updates running around the run sheets every single day. You didn't get to experience that, Jordan. It was magical.
Hopefully we can do some run
this
sheets this year at Nationals.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I know we're already in deep chats with Karate Victoria about how we're going to collaborate on the Nationals and what sort of media service we can provide, as well as information and just highlighting the Australian karate athletes. So I'm very excited for Nationals already.
But yeah, if you have any ideas of how you want us to be a presence, like if you want maybe some ideas for us to run around and provide something, let us know what we can do to help out with your experience at the Nationals. We're just thinking of things randomly, but you can, let
especially parents, like parents who don't compete yourself, or even the veterans who you do. You guys have got a really good understanding of what it feels like to be at a tournament and not know all of what's going on. So what do you need to know? If you go to the championships, what do you want to look out for? That was our run sheets idea last year. It was a list of all the Australian athletes to look out for. I think it was the previous year's national champions, and when they're on and what tatami are they on. We felt like that was very valuable. But if you've got some other ideas of stuff that you want to know at the tournament, let us know, because we can't wait to provide whatever you guys need.
Awesome.
Pick up the culture.
Pick up the culture. That's
Keep
good,
the conversation going.
Keep the conversation moving. I think that's pretty good coverage for the stall and the presence and the volunteers. Jordan has a lovely idea he wants to present to us.
I want to declare war.
Yeah, he wants to declare war. The European is infiltrated. What do you got for us, Jordan?
So we got
Oh gosh.
a little pick on board.
All right. Here we go.
So
there we are.
obviously the 2 Australian teams qualified for the World Championships at the weekend, or at the Australian Open weekend. This weekend is Europe's chance to put their teams forward, and I wanna know if Australia knows karate.
Ooh, this is good, hey?
It is really a tournament like no other, the Europeans, and it's something that we're not directly involved with, but you should be.
And it's going to be on Fox Sport.
It is, I think, the finals.
The finals?
Surely the finals day.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to know who you think is going to get the 5 spots from Europe.
Yep.
Obviously, Spain are already going because they're the host country. Italy and France got bronze medals at the World Championships, so
That's
they're
really
already
nice.
qualified. So forget about them. They don't count.
And the women's who also got their spot,
So we got Spain and Croatia
Kosovo.
and Kosovo in the women's. Yep. So let's see who can pick the 5. I think I'm going to win. Our picks are going to be available during the week.
Yeah,
Well,
I think you're overconfident, so I believe I'm going to win.
Well, this is
I'm the stats guy. I'm going to win.
But I'm from
The
Europe.
stats don't lie. Yeah, but the stats don't lie.
You're not from here. You don't even go here.
But the stats don't lie.
I'm just going
Stats
off
doesn't care where you're from, Jordan.
I'm going off of love and what you're feeling in your heart.
Well, we both know who's going to lose that.
No,
We're
this
going to
is
go with who I feel
okay. So
doesn't win bets, mate.
well, we're recording this on Sunday. Obviously, this comes out on Wednesday, so the Europeans would have just started today. Teams are on the weekend. Our picks are going to be out on Monday, I say. Monday,
I don't know
Tuesday.
when.
It's going to be out before this episode. We don't want to discuss our picks together right now because I feel like it's going to be a very hostile environment if we discuss our picks. We're not going to let each other know. To make it a bit more interesting for you guys and worth your while, and you should be already very keen on submitting your answers just to win.
Should we do? Sorry, this was an idea on the fly. Is it easier to do Team Nathan, Team Jordan, Team Mitch? Like, whose picks do you agree with?
Team Jordan.
Oh, I like
Right,
this.
yeah,
I like this.
Because I think like it's quite a bit of effort going into selecting 5 teams that aren't on the podium from last year and aren't Spain, the host nation. So maybe just pick a team. Pick Team Jordan, Team Nathan, and Team Mitchell.
What the hell? Anyway, well, we can work that out. I think I do like the idea of picking a team, Mitchell or the other two.
Maybe you got the option.
The option too. But I do like the idea. If you can name all 5 teams in the comments of any of the posts or send us a message, you submit it before the weekend. If you name all 5 spots, we'll give you a Kaizen Culture t-shirt.
That is special.
Please don't edit comments.
Yeah, please do not edit. We're gonna, as soon as you comment it, I'm gonna be on the social media and I'm gonna write it down on this board, so we can have the record. And if you get 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and you don't get 5th, I'm sorry, you're not getting the t-shirt. You know?
It's brutal.
It is brutal.
Yeah.
Just pick what I pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 5.
Gosh. But remember, this is how it works. So the teams that have already qualified their spot for the World Championships already, so that's Spain, France, Italy for the men's, Spain, Croatia, Kosovo for the women's. Yeah. If they get a medal at the Europeans, so if one of them, let's say Spain wins, they don't take the gold medalist. They take 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then 6th, okay? So just name your top 5 countries that you think will get them. And we'll see how the competition goes.
How much of the Europeans are you going to be watching this week, Jordan?
All of it.
All of it, every single match.
You were watching...
As I watched last year's yesterday.
Yeah.
Just to study for the teams?
Yeah, just so I can win this.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I'm interested to see who everyone picks. I really hope everyone gets involved in that, and maybe the t-shirt will incentivize that. But yeah, anything else you want to mention?
No.
We're all good.
All good.
We're all good.
Oh, where's my run sheet? I've forgotten. Anyway,
do you want me?
Yeah, I should have this memorized. Okay. Last little bit. Okay, here we go. The wrap up. As always, please let us know your feedback and ask questions. After all, we are an organisation for you. Send us an email at kaizenculture.info@gmail.com. You can even just send us a message on Instagram or Facebook. We can respond on that. Make sure you sign up to the mailing list to be the first to hear about everything that we're doing. And thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be in touch. See you on the next one.
Last mention, thank you to the whole Australian karate community for supporting us at the Australian Open in the Oceania, and thank you to Jordan for joining us on this podcast.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for being gracious losers in the pick'em contest.
All right, well, hit us with the outro then, Jordan.